able to identify who this Dr. Ramsey person is because there are no Dr. Ramseys in this town. And so probably he's using a fake name. So the family is sad and frustrated.
Cora.
Once again, has nothing they can do about this.
Hi, baby.
Kim and her family are sitting at home. They're all very sad about the
Cora.
and the phone rings. Now, there had been 2 weeks where Dr. Ramsey hadn't called once. And so Kim's father picks the phone up and says, hello? And it's Dr. Ramsey. But unlike all the other calls where Dr. Ramsey almost always began to put Kim on the phone, this time he started with,
He's messing with the tree.
People in your house right now. Your wife's in the kitchen, you're in the living room, your 3 sons are watching TV in the den, and your 2 daughters are upstairs in their respective.
What are you doing, Cora?
His father is obviously horrified to hear this because it was all accurate. And he just screams into the phone,
Cora.
Stay away from my family, and he hangs up. After this phone call,
Get down.
his father was naturally very shaken up by this because even though they knew
Cora.
Ramsey was
Get down.
in the area, and he clearly drove past the
Get down.
was local, it just felt way more
Get down. Cora. Get down. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, honey. Yeah. Yeah.
And nothing has changed. It was just another creepy phone call. And so they don't do anything. The next day, they plugged their phone line back in because they need to use a phone. And shortly thereafter, the daily calls with Dr. Ramsey began again. And now, every call, whenever they did pick up, started with Dr. Ramsey identifying who was in the house and where they were. After a couple of days of this, the family was just living in paranoia. It was a horrible time in their lives. And one night, the phone rings, and Kim's father picks it up, ready to...
They can't yell at her for checking out the tree.
And Dr. Ramsey, instead of giving...
You should see her.
...starts by saying, I can open
She's
your
cute.
window and I can open your French door to the side of your house. Kim's father's about to yell at him, but instead just hangs the phone up and runs into the kitchen, and he checks the window, and he knows it's faulty. And clearly, so does Dr. Ramsey. And so he gets a piece of twine, and he ties it over the latch and gets it as tight as he can. And then he ran over to the French doors, which were faulty. You'd have to push pretty hard, but you could, in theory, pop the doors open if you knew these were faulty doors.
Hi, honey.
Kim's father is not taking any chances. He gets some nails out of the junk drawer, and he nails a row of nails.
Do you like the tree?
Into the hardwood, sitting immediately
I think she likes that tree.
so if you were to push on them, you would just butt up against the heads of these nails and it would keep it shut. It was his temporary solution.
All ready to jump?
A copper lock to fit on the door. At this
Jody.
point, it was safe to say Kim and
Look.
his family were living in fear that Dr. Ramsey at any given point could just break into their house.
Come on
because
up.
clearly he was canvassing their house and testing different entry points. And he'd
Come
already
here.
done too. And so now it felt totally
Come here,
unsafe for the
Cora.
house. But oddly enough, after that last call,
Come over
where
here.
Dr. Ramsey said he knew the kitchen and the doors were
What's the matter, honey?
Dr. Ramsey decreased to almost
Why don't you get up there? Get up there with Mama.
It started to feel like maybe he had gotten his thrills and he was moving on now. And it just so happened that around the time the family was starting to think this could be over, the mother and father had to go to a company function where the kids couldn't go. So the kids
She's so sweet.
The kids said, we're fine with it. We have each other. The house will be locked.
Aw.
Here.
And the parents, even though they hated the idea of their kids being alone at all, because of everything going on with Dr. Ramsey, they felt like, it does seem like he's kind of moved on. He's only been gone for a couple of hours, so I'm sure he's going to be fine. So that night, after her parents leave, Kim is sitting on the couch. She's watching TV.
I don't know what kind of game she's playing.
I don't know either. She keeps looking at the tree, though. She's very, very interested in the tree. Oh, wait. Now she's coming back over to you. Now she's going back around the tree. Oh, there. Now she wants to look at the tree from up there.
And she's looking at it even more closely, and then for sure, she sees the doors bow inward, like someone is pushing on the top, and the nails are stopping the bottom. And for a split second, she sees the clear silhouette of Dr. Ramsey. And she screams, wakes up her sister and her brother, and she's pointing at the double doors. They all look, and once again, he pushes on those doors, exposing himself just for a second to the kids. So now all 3 kids have now seen this guy trying to force his way into their house. And so they scream and run right upstairs. They go into Kim's room, they shut the door, lock it, turn the lights off, and they go over to the window that's looking out the front of their house. Now, Dr. Ramsey is on the side of the house, so they wouldn't be able to see him through this window. They're hoping they'll see him as he exits the front of their house. And they're kind of keeping an eye out the window, praying they see this guy leave their property and leave them alone. But they don't see him leave, and they don't hear any noise downstairs or outside. It's just total silence. And they're wondering, did he already get in the house? They decide they need to look for themselves. And so they leave Kim's room and they sneak down the hall to the side room, which was their brother's room, that overlooked the area.
I can't tell what she's doing.
They go over to the window and they
I
hope
think it's two of us.
I hope she's not chewing it.
and sure enough, there's a man
Kind
standing
of,
right
here's some
outside the
noise.
door with his hands on them, kind of looking in, looking around. And at this point, the kid's underneath the window so that he doesn't see him. And as they're crouched down, they hear him start banging on the door downstairs. At which point, Kim's sister, who was there with her, just says, "What do you want?" The banging stops, and the man says, "I have a pizza. Come down and get it." Kim and her siblings didn't order a pizza, so they just
Yeah,
if you don't leave, we're gonna call the cops. And then Kim pokes her head over the window, and she looks down, and she can clearly see it's Dr. Ramsey, who's now turned, and he's running away from their house. Just a couple of minutes later, Kim's two older brothers return. They were out at a skating rink, and they come back, they come inside, and Kim and her two younger siblings go up and